Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is currently running into important resistance in the short term, while Ethereum is currently bouncing from important support, which I'll talk about later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just giving you a really quick update here on the 4-day Bitcoin chart. And right now, as I'm recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is obviously still within a short-term pullback. But with that being said, despite the current short-term pullback, obviously we're still technically within a much larger bullish trend here on the 4-day time frame, because we can clearly see the price of Bitcoin is still forming significant higher lows and higher highs here on the larger time frames. And on top of that, if you're looking at this super trend indicator, right now it's obviously still sitting in the green, indicating a much larger bullish trend at play, which has been the case since around the beginning of this year, as I've been saying almost every day since the beginning of the year. And in case you're wondering, the point of invalidation for this larger bullish trend based on the super trend indicator is sitting at around 25,000, which basically means if we see a strong confirmed break below 25,000 with ideally a weekly candle close well below 25k, so back below this previous low, then in that case, not only would that confirm a new lower low on the larger timeframes, that would also confirm a reversal in this indicator, basically flipping this from green back to red, which would essentially act as a massive trend reversal signal when you're talking about the larger trend at play. So once again, 25k would be the point of invalidation for the larger bullish trend. So while the price of Bitcoin is still holding above 25k, technically we're still looking much more bullish than bearish when you're talking about the larger trend at play. But obviously on smaller time frames, that does change. Because for example, if you zoom into the daily Bitcoin chart, we can see that here on the daily time frame, there is a bearish divergence still currently playing out, which basically means we should not really be expecting a lot of bullish momentum, at least in the shorter term here. And usually bearish divergences on the daily time frame last for around 1 to 2 weeks or so before they potentially begin to fade away on average. And as of right now, this bearish divergence has been playing out for nearly 2 weeks, which means sometime soon, potentially within the next 1 week or so, we could see this bearish divergence begin to wear off, meaning a possible bounce back to the upside or breakout in the RSI, for example. But until then, obviously this bearish divergence is still currently active, and in order to invalidate this bearish divergence on the daily time frame, we would need to see ideally a breakout in the RSI above this descending line of resistance, and also ideally some higher lows and higher highs beginning to form in either the RSI or the price action or both, in order to actually begin to invalidate this previous bearish divergence. But once again, even though we do currently have a bearish divergence active on the daily time frame, this doesn't necessarily mean the larger multi-month long bullish trend is over, because obviously we have seen multiple bearish divergences throughout the larger bullish trend, and usually that just means we're due to see a bit of a pause or setback or correction during the larger trend, because obviously we can see shorter term bearish trends or short-term corrections within a larger bullish trend. So essentially right now we're looking more bullish than bearish in terms of the longer term trend, technically speaking, but once again in the shorter term we're looking more bearish than bullish, at least for now. And this is also backed up by the daily Bitcoin MACD, which is still looking more bearish than bullish, which once again is pointing towards a little bit of a correction currently playing out as expected. And now if you're looking at levels of support here on the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, taking a look at the Fibonacci retracement tool from swing low to swing high, we have the 38.2% Fibonacci level of support sitting at around 28.9k approximately, which is the level of support to pay attention to. But if we actually saw a confirmed break back below 28.9k, then in that case we would likely see a drop down towards around 28,000 to 28.1k, which is the 50% retracement level. And below that level we have the important golden pocket area of support sitting in between 27,000 to 27.2k. And as for shorter term resistance, we could find find some resistance right here at around 30,000 approximately if we see a continued bounce in the short term. And now, just before looking at some other important Bitcoin and Ethereum charts, just quickly reminding you that the World Series of Trading is open for registration and it's only open for the next couple of weeks. And this year there's a total prize pool of up to 8 million USDT, a brand new Lamborghini Huracan and multiple Rolex watches up for grabs. And basically how it works is I have a cryptoworld team in the competition, and if you join my team and our team places well in the competition, then essentially any of you who join the cryptoworld team could potentially win a share in this massive prize pool. And the more people that join our team, the better our chances are at actually placing well in the competition. So if you trade crypto anyway, you might as well check this out, and I'll make sure to leave a link to this page right here where you can join the cryptoworld team in the World Series of Trading in the description down below and in the pinned comment. In fact, it'll be the first link down below this video. But anyway, now getting back into the Bitcoin chart, this right here is the 2-hour Bitcoin chart, and technically speaking, this previous bear flag pattern is still currently active with a bearish price target at around 28,500. But remember, between the current price and that price target at around 28,500, we also have that Fibonacci level of support at around 28.9k. And it's also important to know the invalidation level for this previous technical pattern and this technical price target, and that invalidation price is sitting at around 29.7k, which basically means if we saw a break back above 29.7k with confirmation, like for example candle closes back above that level or confirming that level as new support, then in that case that would actually invalidate this previous pattern and invalidate this technical price target. And now even in that scenario, it's worth pointing out that we still have resistance to the upside. For example, this level of resistance sitting at around 30.3k to 30.4k, and also that 29.7k level could act as short-term resistance before we see any breakout to the upside. And now if you zoom into a much smaller time frame, taking a look at the 1-hour Bitcoin chart, right now at the time of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is currently running into a bit of short-term resistance, which was a previous ascending line of support. And right now, this previous ascending line of support, which is now acting as new resistance, is currently sitting at around 29.3k. So just keep in mind, we do have a bit of short-term resistance around that level, but if we actually saw a confirmed breakout back above 29.3k, then in that case, it would become very likely that the price would essentially return up towards these highs, which is sitting at around 29.5k to 29.6k. And that's also because of a possible double bottom pattern that we have here on the 1-hour chart. Once again, if we confirm a breakout above 29.3k, then that could set up a technical price target for this double bottom pattern at around 29.5k. But once again, it is important to understand that obviously that price target back to the upside does not come into play until we at least confirm a breakout above this initial level of resistance. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and right now the price of ETH is still trading in between this area of support and this ascending line of resistance, which first of all, this line of resistance is sitting at around 1.9k, which was previous support, and this area of support is sitting in between 1770 to 1820. And as for the daily Ethereum price oscillators, right now these are still looking relatively neutral, not overly bullish or overly bearish, because right now the RSI is basically chopping around sideways while the MACD is showing very low momentum on the daily time frame, which basically means we don't really have a strong direction here in the shorter term. So we should not really be expecting a significant movement on the chart, at least anytime soon. And instead, like I've been saying over the last few days, we're likely going to see relatively mild price action, most likely some choppy sideways price action, or potentially a slight pullback, kind of like what we've seen over the last 1 week as expected. And now if you zoom into a slightly smaller time frame, looking at the 8-hour ETH to US dollar chart, obviously the price of ETH once again broke below that previous ascending line of support, which is now acting as new resistance, sitting at around 1.9k to 1910. So basically, even if we see a continued continued bounce here in the short term. Expect resistance at around 1.9k to 1910. And now just staying on the 8-hour ETH to US dollar chart, looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool from swing low to swing high, we have the 50% retracement level acting as support, sitting at around 1830 approximately. But if we saw a strong break below that level, then in that case, we have the important golden pocket area of support sitting in between around 1760 to 1770. And as for short-term resistance, right now, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is currently running into this previous Fibonacci level, which is acting as resistance, sitting at around 1870 to 1880. But if we saw a confirmed break back above 1880, then in that case, we could find some resistance once again at around 1.9k to 1910. And above that level, we also have some resistance at around 1930. And now, if you zoom into the much shorter term, taking a look at the 1-hour ETH to US dollar chart, right now, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is currently holding above this ascending line of support, which right now is currently sitting at around 1860. So at least in the shorter term here, once again, 1860 is the initial level of support to pay attention to. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways in the short term, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is bullish or bearish using AI, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from a choppy sideways price range. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.